Hi, everybody. Today in Road to the Show, I'm taking on the Cleveland Indians, which is my second favorite team. I only live about 2.5 hours from Cleveland, and I went to 42 games last year at Progressive Field, so I know a pretty good bit about the Indians, and that's definitely not Terry Francona. I don't know who that was. And this looks more like an Indians spring training lineup where they take maybe 3 starters and the rest are kind of like backups, and that's just not a good lineup they put out there for this game. And the announcer just said I'm back in the starting lineup after getting yesterday off, so I had to sit in game 1 of the series because I'm having some big time issues with fielding. I just switched over to second base from left field and it didn't go too well in KC. So here's my first step out of the ball game, and I'm gonna rip a single into left. So 1 for 1. That will extend my hitting streak to, I believe it's 49 games. Yep, 49 games. Trying to break Joe DiMaggio's record of 56. I mean, I would rather sit out if they're gonna not play me and not start me. I would rather just sit out the whole game and not even get a pinch hit appearance right now at this point, because that's a pretty big milestone on the line just to get one chance at a hit. Here's my second at bat. That one's gonna be, that's a home run. Speaking of home runs, I'm watching right now the replay. Well, not the replay, but I have MLB TV, so I'm watching the Angels and Padres. They're at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Just trying to get a feel for some of these stadiums that I want to see. And there's literally like 20 people that are out in left field right now. If there's a home run, it would be so easy to cover pretty much the entire outfield and just track it down out there right now, because people are just sitting down on their blankets or whatever. There's another home run, by the way. That was a grand slam, actually. So this game is turning into a complete blowout. Sorry, Indians, but this one is, wow, 10-0. Luckily for them, I am an awful fielder, so I'm probably going to open the door here. I'm into a shift formation with Santana at the plate, and I'm going to have a shot here. I'm just having really difficulty throwing the ball, lining it up, and see, that was just a little up off the mark, and I throw it over his head. So I don't get it. I think after the series, I'm going to request to move back to the outfield just because they are not playing me that much. I feel like they're going to start pinch hitting me, and I'm going to lose my hitting streak. I'm not going to get as many at bats. I might only appear like once a series, because let's face it, if you have a guy that can't throw the ball, it's kind of tough to find a spot for them. I mean, they could, I guess, put me at DH, but for whatever reason, they don't want to do that. Man, my kids are being so loud upstairs. Sorry if it comes on in the background. They are all pumped up and excited. Today was my daughter's 2nd birthday, my youngest daughter, so we got a bunch of new toys in the house, and they are just up there screaming and just having a good old time. So it might be picked up in the background. I don't know. I'll probably put another background like song on to kind of try to muffle that out. So sorry if there's some annoying background noise like kids bashing blocks and stuff, but that's just the way it goes when you have 3 little kids in the house. So it's been a pretty busy day today. I haven't even had a chance to really look at any of the box scores from the spring training games. I usually don't get a chance to watch the spring training games because I'm at work. Oh, here's a nice little jump throw. That is right on the money. No, it's not. I must have a really low throwing accuracy score or whatever, and I just need to get out of second base because this is getting a little bit ridiculous. What was I talking about? Yeah, I never get to watch spring training games because I have to work until 2:35 every day, and most of the games start at 1. I guess I could watch the Arizona League games, but I just, spring training baseball, it's kind of tough to watch teams that you're not really into. Like, sorry Brewers fans, but I'm not going to want to watch, I don't even know any of your prospects. I guess my favorite prospect from the Brewers would be Jesus Aguilar, former Indians first baseman. He's got some pop. He'll put the ball out to right center field and give you a shot. He was one of the only Indians that could do that whenever he was called up. And hey, I finally made a throw. It's a miracle. I literally can't believe that. I think that's the first throw I've completed. And we win the game. It's a blowout, but we get the win, and looks like I'm the MVP for that game. Moving on to game number 2. All right, just let me hit X and we'll skip over all this post-game stuff. get right into game number 2. Take a look at the lineups. There's the Canadian flag on the scoreboard. That's not Terry Francona. I don't think it's Brad Mills either, so I guess the Indians fired their manager after the World Series appearance. That's a little bit better of a lineup. There we go. The last 3, pretty iffy, but that's more representative of what the Indians lineup would look like. And the announcer just said that I had the night off again last night, again. So this is a 4-game series, and I had games number 1 and 3 off, probably due to my fielding problems. And look at that pink bat. This is the Mother's Day game. As some of you might know, they use special pink baseballs and also pink bats on Mother's Day. And they might wear, I think, like wristbands. I don't think they do different uniforms. But it's cool to get those pink baseballs. Now, by pink baseballs, the baseballs actually aren't pink. They're white, and they have pink lacing and pink lettering instead of blue lettering. So it's pretty awesome. It's a different variation from the typical ball that you get all the time in batting practice. And I've gotten maybe like a dozen of these over the years, maybe a half dozen to a dozen. And usually you can get them in batting practice like the next day or sometimes the next series. What we've found in Pittsburgh is usually after Mother's Day, the following series, all the pitchers will have them in the bullpen ball bag. So if you would say go to the bullpen, maybe like the Monday after Mother's Day or the Tuesday after Mother's Day, and you were able to get a baseball from, say, Euclides Rojas, the pitching coach, there's a good shot that it's going to be one of those pink baseballs that's left over from Mother's Day, and they rubbed them up and they're ready to go, and they're extra, so they just tossed them in the ball bag to be used. So if you're ever in Pittsburgh and you want a pink baseball, just go the day after Mother's Day and you'll have a good shot at it. All right, let's get back to the game. Well, you saw that there was another throwing error, and then I don't have a trouble catching the ball at second base. 100% chance after this game I go and change my position back to the outfield, and I'm not really hitting too well with this pink bat. We're losing 4-3, and I cannot get the ball up into the air here to get a home run. So kind of frustrating. Usually I hit maybe on average, 2 home runs per game or something like that. I've got 0 home runs. It's a 4-4 game here. Looks like there's 2 outs in the 6th inning, so this is kind of a big spot. Gonna really need to get a hold of one here, and I did not do that. That would have been a double play ball. I rarely hit ground balls. I can't remember the last time I hit a ground ball. It's usually at least a line drive to third base or into the outfield. But it looks like the Blue Jays kind of took care of business now. We're up 8-4, so I really don't care that much if I get out. I mean, it'd be nice to have a home run, but there's another pop-up. So the pink bats just are still not working for me. And we end up going, that might be the last out. Yep. What's with the American flag on the scoreboard there? I thought this was Canada. We end up winning 8-4. I went 2 for 5 with 0 home runs. That's really going to hurt my batting average, actually. And that's it for this series against the Indians because, like I said, they sat me for half of the game. So just take a quick look at the scoreboard and see what happened. Looks like they lost that third game without me. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you all tomorrow.